Fantasy football is a popular pastime for football fans all over the country this time of the year. It gives fans the chance to see how football games would be played if they're the ones that call the shots. Many FHS students are involved in the trend as well. Who was your number one pick in fantasy football?
Adrian Peterson, obviously.
Are you excited about fantasy football this year?
Yes, I am. I'm going to win some big bucks.
Calvin Johnson and Trent Richards, they really let me down, but there's always next week, and I'm coming for the comeback, and we'll win. And we'll win it all.
Who's your first pick this year in fantasy football?
Marshawn Lynch, though.
How are you doing this year in fantasy football?
Boy, I'm eating in fantasy football, though.
Your number one pick this year in fantasy football?
Marshawn Lynch.
All right, how are you doing this year in fantasy football?
Not very good. I'm 1-2 right now with a hard loss this week.
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
Are you excited about this year in fantasy football?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm going to kill everyone. Hernandez is going to go off. Best season ever.
According to responses, Aaron Hernandez seems like a key player to have this season.
Aaron Hernandez. Ooh, kill him.
Who was your number one pick this year in fantasy football?
Well, I wanted to play safe this year, so I just got Jacksonville D.
Number one pick this year in fantasy football?
Adrian Peterson.
I haven't really shook up the league yet and made some moves like I normally do. I'm just letting everybody get comfortable, get full of themselves, and then I start knocking them down one by one.
It sounds like teams overall are doing pretty well besides Mr. Langston sitting at 0-4. Not everyone can be a professional like me at 3-1. For Racc TV, I'm Chris Calhoun.
One of the best ways to get an art credit at Frisco High School is to take Art 1. Mr. Newman's class is considered to be one of the most popular throughout the entire school. We recently stopped in on his class to see what was going on.
Well, Sean, what I like about Mr. Newman's class is Mr. Newman. He is a really nice teacher. He's really cool. He understands us, We draw work. Yeah.
I really like Mr. Newman. He's pretty cool, and I like drawing.
All right. What do you look forward to the most? What kind of projects do you want to do?
Three-dimensional hand signals like this and like this. I don't know.
I believe that kids like my class so much because, number one, the relaxed atmosphere. I think they enjoy the fact that I hold them to high standards without the fear of falling short.
Students enjoy learning new skills while having fun at the same time.
We've made contour lines and drawing hands and stuff like this on the wall, and that's about it.
I like drawing, having fun. It takes off the pressure of the rest of the day.
I think they enjoy the fun interaction with those at their tables. I think they enjoy interacting in a fun, happy environment with those at their tables.
If you're looking for an elective that is fun and rewarding, you should check out Mr. Newman's art class. Not only do you learn the basics of drawing, but a large set of art techniques. For Racc TV, I'm Sean Grogan.
The Lady Raccoons trained hard all summer and are off to a great start this season. With some of our toughest opponents being in our own district, the Lady Raccoons feel confident they have what it takes to win.
My favorite team to play is Centennial, and because I have a lot of friends on that team.
My favorite team to play is Wakeland because it's always a really good game, and they're our biggest rivals because we've known the girls there for a really long time, so it's always fun and a good game to play.
It would probably be Centennial because it's always a really good game and it's very competitive. Wakeland because they're our rivals and we just love beating up on them.
Centennial because they're the biggest competition.
These girls have a true passion for volleyball.
My favorite part about playing the game is getting a good dig on defense and celebrating with my team when we win the point.
I just love the competitive nature and the team building that it gets.
In volleyball, the girls specialize in positions. For example, the front row has different responsibilities than the back row.
We work really hard as a team and we love playing with one another.
You're going to see a wide variety of talents in these young ladies that take the court this year. In volleyball we specialize in positions, and you have front row players that have a job of playing very good offensive ball, putting the ball down on kills, and then you have your second line of defense behind them, the back row players that also have to cover for them to protect the ball and get it up at all costs. That helps us to come to the floor every week and be better players.
Like most teams, the girls review videos of their games and focus on their strengths while also looking for ways they can improve.
After we have a match and we look and see what we did not do well in that game, our next emphasis in our practice will be those things that we need to work on before we meet our next opponent.
Remember, we play Wakeland this evening there at 5:30. Come out and support our Lady Raccoons. For RACC TV, I'm Sydney Crowder.
With all of the recent construction on school and on the streets around the school, students are tending to dodge traffic before and after school.
One of the main problems for students, though, that's a concern for their safety is where they're crossing the street at. They're not using the crosswalk, and so they're crossing between the cars and in traffic and through the construction zone, all of which is a dangerous thing because people usually aren't watching out for them. So it's important that people use the crosswalk because it's against the law not to.
Construction around the school has caused drivers to get easily distracted, which endanger the students' safety.
There's a lot of construction things, a lot of things that the eye catches that doesn't necessarily allow a driver to focus in on a pedestrian, and so they might not even see a student. There's so many orange pylons and barriers around that it's not good to be walking through those things. The second reason is because you can get a ticket for it. You can be ticketed for crossing the street in an area not designated, which would be the crosswalk.
There are many factors causing the students to cross the streets.
Mainly because of the construction. They've got it down to one lane. That makes things different there. And then also because the traffic pattern. They actually have the north and southbound traffic on one side of the street instead of divided. And so that's the main problem.
The construction in the streets and around the school is causing confusion between motorists and pedestrians. If you have to cross the streets before or after school, do your best to walk on the crosswalks to avoid dangerous situations. For RACC TV, I'm Jake Stacy.
Thanks to Johnny Manziel, the subject of compensating college athletes has once again become a hot topic. The NCAA has always had a strict policy against compensation. They believe that once an athlete gets paid, he or she is considered a professional. What do you think?
Do you believe that college athletes should get paid just like the pros do in sports?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because they work just as hard.
Yes, they do, because they bring revenue to the colleges.
I guess so, because they do just exactly the same thing.
Yes,
Why?
because they work just as hard.
No, because, I mean, they're already getting a full college education for free, so.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're still doing all of the work, so they should get paid for it.
Coaches come at this topic from their own point of view.
Well, an athlete can't be compensated, otherwise he would be a professional. Now, in my opinion, I think they need to give them an allowance of some sort to help them out with some food and some clothing items, because a typical college athlete doesn't have time to work. But paying athletes on a scale similar to a professional scale would result in all kinds of problems. You know, the haves and the have-nots, the universities that could afford to pay more would always get the better players, and they would always stay at the top, whereas, you know, the other universities would struggle.
The reason college athletes don't get paid today is because that's what separates them from becoming professionals. So at the amateur level, the high school and college level, they're not paid for their performance, and then once they start getting paid for their performance, that they then become professionals.
As you can see, the controversy still remains in whether or not college athletes should get paid. Although this problem won't suddenly disappear, it is receiving much attention. Until the NCAA makes a final law allowing compensation, it still remains illegal. For RACC TV, I'm Matt Huffsickler.
Good morning, fellow raccoons. Welcome to the Weekend Weather Watch. The weather's changing, and this may be the last hot Friday we have for a while. Today's high is going to reach 90, and the low this morning was 66. A cool front blows in this evening, bringing with it the possibility of showers on Saturday. Saturday's high is only going to be 66 with a low of 51. Sunday will be sunny with a high of 74 and a low of 46. So bundle up for the nippy weather, guys. All of you should have your State Fair tickets by now. They're good for Sundays only. I stopped by the fair this week and will leave you with a few pictures of what I saw. For Racc TV, I'm Grant Jones, and remember, no one loves you like Forrest does.